I've covered almost 100 hidden secrets in Cyberpunk to the point that I think I'm actually running out. So let's change things up a bit. Instead of showing useful and super interesting secrets and Easter eggs in Cyberpunk, let's go over some facts in Cyberpunk that are seemingly useless. You know, stuff like fun little coincidences, extremely insignificant details, and Easter eggs or references that I can't exactly prove to be Easter eggs or references. Things that could just be a coincidence. Feel free to let me know of any useless facts that you know that I don't cover down in the comments. And let's go ahead and get into 17 useless facts about Cyberpunk 2077 that you probably didn't know about. Julio from the Cyberpunk Edgerunner show on Netflix is voiced by Bryce Papenbrook, who also voices the main protagonist in an anime called Sword Art Online. Asuna, who is the main love interest of the series, is voiced by Jeremy Lay, who also does the voice work for Female V, or Valerie.
It doesn't matter how old I am. It's not like anyone's gonna see us.
During the Trauma Drama arcade game, you can see one of the high scores is POH, or Pooh, which is the name of one of Sword Art Online's main antagonists. I'm pretty sure this is actually an Easter egg, but it could just be a coincidence. Once you finish the Phantom Liberty DLC, Mr. Hands will call you with a gig. Your job is to pretend to be a world-renowned killer named Aguilar, which is the last name of the killer, as Aguilar's gender depends on your character's gender. And your job is to make sure the transition of power in Dogtown goes smoothly. This fictional international assassin shares the same last name as Zach Aguilar, who does the voice of David Martinez from the Edgerunner show on Netflix. When you are inside of a car with a first-person perspective, you can see highly detailed raindrops on the windows and windshield. But if you use a vehicle with the Crystal Dome technology, you will not see any raindrops due to how the technology works. If I told you that you could twerk in Cyberpunk, you'd probably call me a liar. Checkmate. Yeah, so if you open up photo mode and switch between the I know Kung Fu and knuckle sandwich poses, you can actually make your character twerk. And with a little stop motion magic, you get something like this. And here's what happens when you use some AI interpolation. If you go to this location on the map and climb up the sloped building, you can find this little cubby in the side near the top. Not only do you get an amazing view of the good part of Night City, but there's an AV up here with a dildo strapped to the back of it. I don't know what it is with CD Projekt Red and dildos, but it's probably just some inside joke. Near the Longshore Stacks in Dogtown, you can come across this random junkie. She does nothing but follow you around and scream that they found her. I really have no idea what this is supposed to be, if anything at all, but I guess that's the whole point of useless facts. Many people comment on my videos about how they finished the Hysakumpeki Plaza, but things that should be available in the open world are not available. That's because in order to officially start Act 2, you have to meet with Takamura at Tom's Diner. Tom's Diner, which is also the name of a song by Suzanne Vega, was actually the first song ever to be encoded into an MP3 file. There is a side quest called Coin Operated Boy where you come across an AI vending machine who is seemingly becoming a sentient being. Long story short, he's not, but this vending machine is actually voiced by Brian DeChart, who plays Connor from Detroit Become Human, which is a butterfly effect movie game like Until Dawn where the AI servants become sentient beings. Dazed and Confused is a side quest where you rescue a guy named Tool who thinks he's a BD star named Lena Molina, and you have to hire the real Lena Molina to film a BD with Tool. If you get the ending where you convince Tool that he's Lena's sister, they will both start a BD series called Tool Lena, and Lena will subscribe you to her True Fans newsletter. Assuming you don't unsubscribe, she will eventually share that she was shocked to find out that it's illegal to drink booze from a water gun. Well, there you have it. It's illegal to drink booze from a water gun in Night City. I guess Night City isn't immune to obscure laws that don't really make any sense. If you go to the Fourth Wall Studios in Westbrook where you filmed the Passion BD with Joshua, you can occasionally find two NPCs arguing over how one of the workers stole studio equipment for a personal BD, but her co-worker found out and is currently confronting her. If you listen to their conversation, you'll find out that she actually used it to film a BD of her chopping up a child. My natural instinct was to kill her with the power of the Black Wall, but you'll notice that her co-worker doesn't even flinch, showing that she had no remorse and didn't mind that you just melted her soul. Now that's pretty based. Cyberpunk 2077 takes place in the year 2077, if you didn't know. But if I had a nickel for every time a single-player dystopian RPG took place in the year 2077, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. One of my favorite RPGs, not counting Cyberpunk, is Fallout 4. which doesn't actually take place during the year 2077, but in the Fallout universe, the bombs dropped during the year 2077, and you get to play a brief prologue that takes place when the bombs dropped. I'm not saying I'm a superstitious fellow, but come 2077, we better burn some sage, just in case. On the west side of Night City, you can find a pier, which is the location of one of Claire's races. Down on the dock at the end, you can find a girl crying. If you jump down into the water, you can pick up a lost key, and go back to the girl and give it to her. Then it takes her about 15 seconds to say thanks for whatever reason. Rude. But that's about it. No reference, no reward, just a random NPC who has a lost key to something. Probably another one of CD Projekt Red's inside jokes. If you go to the Arasaka Industrial Park and take control of the security cameras, scrolling through them you can see a camera number and the name of the location at the bottom left. But one of the cameras says camera 69, he he he. So it seems even Arasaka has a sense of humor. Take that, you liberals. Body Heat Radio is one of the better radio stations in the game that plays some hit songs like Delicate Weapon, Major Crimes, and some of that Us Cracks music. If you would even call it that. Well, the radio station's frequency is actually 98.7, which is considered the normal body heat temperature. Feel free to take your temperature and see for yourself. That's 37 degrees for you tea-sipping, redcoat-wearing, tax-guzzling chooms. The iconic Blade Runner film seems to be a very big inspiration for Cyberpunk 2077. In fact, you can find Roy Batty, the main antagonist of the film, on a rooftop in the rain holding a bird. You can also find his niche at the Night City Columbarium along with his final line from the movie. However, this quote is actually wrong. Roy Batty does not say, "all these moments will be lost in time like tears in the rain," but rather he says, "all those moments will be lost in time like tears in the rain." Probably just a minor translation error though. But during that scene just before that final line, Roy Batty also says, "attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion," which is the codename for the Cyberpunk sequel game. In Santo Domingo, you can find a massive Ferris wheel, and behind one of the carriages, you can find a loot box with a unique outfit in it. This outfit is nothing special, but wearing this outfit will actually automatically change your default pose when you enter photo mode, as opposed to the original pose where you look like you're about to tell your mom at 3 AM that you just threw up. The quest where you meet with Hanako is the point of no return, and because of that, most players make her wait weeks or even months. I mean, she better be perfect at that piano by now. But if you choose the Corpo life path, you can actually bow to Hanako, and this will quite literally cause Johnny to have a visceral reaction. There you have it, that's 17 useless facts in Cyberpunk 2077 that you probably didn't know about. Feel free to let me know of some useless facts that I have not covered, and if you want to see more Cyberpunk and RPG related content and shorts, then feel free to subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you later, and remember, the media lies.